The human body has a fascinating system for producing and draining tears, which are essential for eye health and emotional expression. Tears are primarily produced by the lacrimal glands, located above each eye. When you blink, tears spread across the surface of the eye, keeping it moist and washing away debris. After serving their purpose, tears drain through small openings called puncta, leading to the nasolacrimal ducts, which connect to the nasal cavity. This is why crying often leads to a runny nose. Excess tears overflow into the nasal passages, mixing with mucus and creating the familiar sniffles. Emotions play a significant role in tear production. While reflex tears protect the eyes from irritants like dust or onions, emotional tears are triggered by feelings such as sadness, joy, or frustration. These tears contain higher levels of stress hormones and proteins, suggesting they may serve a unique physiological function in relieving emotional tension. The connection between crying and nasal congestion is purely anatomical, as the nasolacrimal duct provides a direct pathway for tears to enter the nose. Understanding this process helps demystify why a good cry often comes with a stuffy or runny nose. It's a natural response, not a sign of illness, though persistent nasal issues unrelated to crying may warrant further investigation. By recognizing the science behind tears and nasal congestion, we can better appreciate the body's intricate design and its ways of responding to both physical and emotional stimuli. When people experience a runny nose while crying, they often mistakenly attribute it to a cold or allergies. However, this is a completely normal physiological response tied to emotional tears. Tears are produced by the lacrimal glands and drain through the nasolacrimal duct into the nasal cavity, mixing with mucus and causing that telltale sniffle. Unlike reflex tears, which occur in response to irritants like smoke or onions, emotional tears are triggered by feelings such as sadness, joy, or frustration. Another common myth is that crying leads to illness because of the nasal congestion that follows. In reality, the runny nose is purely a mechanical consequence of tear drainage and not an infection. The body's stress response also plays a role. Heightened emotions can stimulate tear production while simultaneously increasing nasal secretions. This dual effect makes the symptom more noticeable but doesn't indicate sickness. Understanding these distinctions helps demystify the experience. Recognizing that a runny nose during crying is natural, not a sign of allergies or illness, can reduce unnecessary concern. It's simply the body's way of managing excess fluid from emotional responses, highlighting the fascinating link between our emotions and physical reactions. When dealing with a runny nose caused by crying, simple and practical solutions can help manage the symptom effectively. Keeping tissues or a soft handkerchief on hand is the first line of defense, as it allows you to gently wipe away tears and nasal discharge without irritating the skin. Blowing your nose too aggressively can worsen congestion or cause discomfort, so it's best to do so gently and sparingly. Staying hydrated by drinking water can also help thin nasal secretions, making them easier to clear. Over-the-counter saline nasal sprays or a warm compress over the nose may provide additional relief by soothing irritated nasal passages. Understanding when to take further action is equally important. If a runny nose persists long after crying or is accompanied by other symptoms like fever, thick yellow or green discharge, or sinus pain, it may indicate an infection or allergy requiring medical attention. Avoiding irritants like smoke, strong perfumes, or dry air can prevent unnecessary nasal irritation. For recurrent or severe symptoms, consulting an ear, nose, and throat (ENT) specialist can help rule out underlying conditions like chronic sinusitis or allergies. Recognizing the difference between emotional tears and other causes ensures you address the issue appropriately.